Yeah. What the fuck is Alex talking about?
Oh, that's Alex for you. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
No, it's insane. It's insane. I want Ange out, but give me a ticket for the final to support Ange's team. I want Ange out, but if we win it, I'll be at the bus parade. What are we doing? What are we doing?
There's a lot of fans in. There's a lot of fans in the chat saying sack Ange before the final. Sack him now. Sack him before the final. Yeah, I know. I know.
Listen. This club.
Ange said it himself. Tottenham does crazy things to people, especially its own fans, I think.
Alex is a top bloke. If anyone meets him in real life, right, he's a top bloke. But this right now, I don't understand where he's going with it. If Ange wins the Europa Cup, you can't just want him out like that. You know, and I'm a staunch Ange out. I'm a massive Ange out. I don't think we're winning the Europa Cup. You know, I thought we'd lose to Frankfurt second leg. I thought Bodo would knock us out. And I'm going to say that I think United probably beat us in the final, but I'm still going to back the team. I'm going to Bilbao. I went to the semi-final and cheered on Spurs. I'm going to go to Bilbao. I haven't got a ticket, so I'll probably end up in the fan park, but I'll be there cheering them on. So it's a difficult one because for a lot of us fans, this football's awful, guys. Mm-hmm. It's not good at all. You know, today I'm watching a team where Archie Gray, he's not ready for midfield. He's not ready to be a midfielder in the Premier League, not at this level. He needs to go out on loan, or he needs to start every week to be developed. Mikey Moore, he's not ready. You know, he needs minutes to be developed. This start, play one game, don't play 5 games. This isn't how you develop a player. For me, Tell, I don't understand what fans see, the ones that praise him. You know, at Spurs, we've got this real weird habit of if you work hard, that means you're a good player. It's insane. If you make good runs or you put a lot of energy into the game, we suddenly make that average offering really promising, and we've got to want players like that at the club. If you said to me, give me a lazy player who scores you 2 goals in a game, or a hard-working player that doesn't score, doesn't create, I'll take the lazy player. And I think that's what we're doing with Tell. I don't get what he offers, guys. Again, Odebert today, yeah, some nice footwork, some nice little touches, but where's the end product? It's not there. I look at the midfield. Pape Sarr, he's an average footballer, guys, to me. He's an average midfielder. Ben Davies shouldn't be at the club. There's a lot of players on that pitch that I just look at and I think you shouldn't be at Spurs, or you're not ready to play for Spurs, or you still need to develop before you can play regularly for Spurs. And part of me, I think, what does Ange do with the players he's got? The other part of me says, other managers in the league, they get a tune out of far less quality. So what is it? Is it the players? Is it Ange? I think it's both. You know, Alex said one thing that I do agree with, where Ange is a bit more pragmatic and drops us a little bit deeper in Europa, whereas in the Premier League, he goes back to his Ange ball, and it's just a disaster, man. We were getting rinsed down Palace's right side. Munoz and Eze were tearing Ben Davies and Spence to shreds, man. It was wave after wave after wave of attack. In the middle, ping it out wide, ball into the box. Could have been 3-4-0 down at half-time if it wasn't for VAR. And I'm sitting there thinking, but Kinski's not a bad goalie. Danzo's not a bad defender. Spence isn't a bad fullback. Bentancur's not a bad player. What's going on? And it's the tactics, guys. We're so wide open that any team that gets a foot in the midfield, any team that can control that midfield against Spurs will slice us open because we leave gaps everywhere. When you've got a player of Eze's quality, mate, you're going to get punished. You know, that ball he played out wide for the counter-attack when they scored was quality, man. Is that, you know, that I'd love that at Spurs. A player like that constantly playing at Spurs. So what do you do, guys? Do you just dismiss the league and say, well, because we're in the Europa, fuck it. Just normalise losing. Sorry. It's okay to lose every single week because we're in the Europa. Because Crystal Palace, they're in an FA Cup final. They played their full-strength team today. They didn't rest players worried.
But they didn't play midweek, though, did they?
But they still played their full-strength squad before a cup final. I guarantee you, we're not playing midweek coming up. But when we play Villa, I bet you we rest almost everyone before the Europa final.
And said he's not going to do that.
Come on now.
That's
you
what he
think
said.
We're going to start Ange says a lot of things, Sim. Ange says a hell of a lot of things at this football club. And Ange said let fans feel whatever they want to feel. And when they feel upset, he starts arguing with them. Ange said that fans will decide whether he's been a success or not. And when fans say, Ange, we want you out, he throws a strop. So he says a lot of things, does Ange. You know, you've got to take what he says with a pinch of salt. And this, I win a trophy in my second season. If that doesn't happen, well, that's another thing he said that doesn't really make sense. So if he wins it, though, like I said, we can't just shit all over the guy. I came on after the Bodo game and I said, if he wins this trophy now, I'm coming on here. I'm going to apologise to you. I'll take back the fact that I think that you take drugs.
But just going back to what you were saying about Palace, they played their full strength team. So do you think it was wrong of us to not do that? Is that your opinion?
I don't think there's a wrong or right. It's a results business. You're judged by results because what Ange Postecoglou has done is he's put the entire club on a knife edge. He's put the entire football club on a very, very, very wafer-thin line between bust or boom. And Levy has stood by this madness because this is the reality. If we win the Europa, first European trophy in 4 years, first trophy in 16 years, Champions League football, the money that comes with that. And, my God, you know we are going to take Arsenal fans to task. We are going to rinse the Gooners. So, that's if you win. If you lose, no trophy for 17 years, 17th in the league table, which is going to be approximately £37 million down in Premier League prize money from what the club would have budgeted for next season, minus another minimum 20 million of revenue from not being in Europe. So now we're down around about £60 million on our transfer budget for next season. Some top players probably wanting out. This is the very, very, thin line that we're walking on, guys, because of this strategy of fuck the league, all in on Europa. It's very, very, very high risk, and it's put all of us fans on.
But still,
it's put us in a difficult place. It's put us in a difficult place as fans because we know this isn't good enough. But we also know we are one game away from fixing all the problems, almost all the problems, not all, but a lot of them could be fixed with this one win. But if you don't win it, you're fucked.
But I think that the mentality of everything in Europa is only because we're in that position where we can't do anything in the league. I think let's say if we were still in a European challenge,
but Ange put us in that position.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying that's why though right now we are literally resting most of our team in the league and going all out in Europa because we can't do we can't do anything in the league. We're so far off it. So we kind of have to. It would be stupid not to in this situation. If we were still battling it out for Europe, then there would be more argument to not do that. But you kind of have to.
Yeah, but Sim, I'm going to go a little bit Sean Butler on you now, okay? The further down the league we fall, that's another £3.5 million of prize money we don't get towards the transfer kitty next year. Mm-hmm. So by just simply dismissing the league completely, we're hemorrhaging the ability to bring players in next season.
Yeah, but still, as someone who's massive on Ian Count Levy out, do you care about that?
I care about better players coming to this club than what we've got. Yes, I do.
So all of a sudden, you care more about money than making sure we have a better shot of winning the trophy.
No. What I'm saying is there's a balance. There's a balance between focus on winning trophies, but the way we've just completely dismissed the league, I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying don't play the weaker players. I'm not saying today play Van der Ven, play Romero, okay? What I'm saying is change your tactic, man. Why are you making us so easy to beat? Why are you making us such a... Was that a hard game? Did you feel like today was a tough game for Palace? Do you think they got out of second or third gear?
No, it was dead easy.
No, you could have made it a lot harder. Right. You're right. You could have made it a lot harder. Even if the second string players... This is what I'm saying. Could have...
But you see, Ash, this is the problem. This is what Ange and Levy have done to us this year. We're in a situation where, and I heard you say when you were chatting to Ilix, who the hell's Ilix? When you were chatting to Alex right before, you said to Alex, but I knew we were going to lose today, Alex. I knew. You've normalised the loss before we've played, as have I. I'm sure Ash thought, might be a tough day at the office today. A lot of Spurs fans didn't think we were going to win today. That means the players probably don't believe they're really going to win it. So this normalising losing is then replicated on the pitch, where we should be making it hard for teams to beat. We should be changing our tactics and our formation to stop Crystal Palace from just that wave and wave and wave of attack down the wing. I'm sitting there going, this is insane, man. I feel like I was watching players on trial, not a Premier League game of football. And by doing that, we have collapsed down the league. For me, even with the injuries we've had this season, even with the challenges we've had, right, we shouldn't be worse than mid-table, guys. We shouldn't be worse than mid-table.
I agree with it.
17th. It can't get any lower unless you're relegated. We are literally at rock bottom. And this is what they've done. They've basically said, fuck the league completely. Don't worry about winning another game again, but just focus on Europa.
Well, Ange, if you saw that little speech he did after the Bodo game, he pretty much said it. He said these next two Premier League games are so we can get ready for that final. He literally said it to the players.
Yeah, and so he's confirming what I've said. We've completely neglected the league and put the club on this very, very fine line where we are one game away from boom or bust. Whereas with Pochettino, we got to a Champions League final, but we were still guaranteed Champions League football even if we lost it. He still had the club in a safety net where we've still got a chance for the next season.
No, I understand that.
I look at it. Well, that's my point, Sim. This is my point. And he's made it difficult for me because I want him gone. I want Levy gone. I want everyone gone. You know me. I want the ground staff gone. I want the people that built the stadium gone. I want the car park attendants gone. I want everything gone, right? I want you gone. I want Ash gone. I want to go. I want to go.
Wait, go on.
No, it's all love. It's all love. You two can stay for now.
Were you at the game today, Stel?
No. It was my cousin's stag do last night, and I didn't wake up till about 1 o'clock. So bit of a heavy.
The only reason why I asked is I was wondering if you heard anything about the protests. You know anything about how many people turned up or anything? I haven't seen any pictures or anything.
Yeah. The protest was very small. I think 50 to 100 people turned up. It wasn't a big show. But I'm definitely someone that thinks the protest should go ahead regardless, because, and I've had these arguments with a lot of people, if you really believe in something, you don't pick and choose when to believe in it. And you don't pick and choose when you take action. Because at the end of the day, a couple of results shouldn't mean, right, don't protest. We're not protesting against the team. We're not protesting about the Europa Cup. We're protesting about the owners having the club in 17th place and potentially having no money for next season for transfers, and for the 25 years of what they've done to the club, the price we pay for what we watch. That's what we're protesting about. And like I was saying to some people, they were saying, but the timing. I'm like, what about the timing? It's a bad look. But when you protest, you shouldn't care what people think. If I go and protest, I don't care what someone thinks. I protest because I want it on. So if people aren't going to protest now because they're worried of what other people will think, then do you really believe in it? And that's my take on it. I know a lot of people will disagree with this, and it's going to be a view that splits a lot of fans. But at the end of the day, you think about any protests out there, whether it's the suffragettes, like in recent times, Black Lives Matter. Right now, you've got protests on the streets of London for everything and anything going on in the world. At the end of the day, do you think these people, they care what others watching them think? Do you decide when it's right to protest for something because you're worried what others might think? Nah, not for me, guys. I think if you're going to protest, you should do it regardless, because you believe in what you're saying. Otherwise, if Spurs win the Europa, then those protests are dead.
Well, today today was a lot less than it has been in the last two protests, right? So is it not fair to say a lot of the people who went to the protest maybe agree that it probably shouldn't have gone ahead today, or what or are you upset that there was not that many people there today?
If people didn't go today, Sim, what do you think their reason for not going is?
Because we just got to a European final, probably, and they don't want any negativity, I guess, right now. They just wanted everything to just be positive towards the team at this current moment, I guess.
Negativity against who?
It's against the board, but it's still wanting someone out, wanting someone fired, wanting someone's head on a chopping block. That's not a positive thing, is it? It's a positive in terms of, yes, it could give us a new lease of life, blah, blah, blah. It's positive for the future of the club. I understand it. But I'm just saying it's not like you're not bringing happiness, are you, to the situation?
So is it a negative or not then?
I guess it can be perceived as a negative, put it that way.
I think.
Yeah. So exactly. So the perception means that you care what others think. And that's the point I made. If you care,
no, it's not about others. It's about right now. They want to celebrate getting to a European final. They don't want to be talking about who's in, who's out, Levy out, all these things. Like, we're in the European final. Everything should be geared towards being positive around the team in the lead up to that final, I guess.
We had 2,000 fans protest at the last game against Southampton. Was it negative inside the stadium against the team, or did we cheer them on to a win? We cheered them on to a win. At the end of the day, for me, this all comes down to one thing. Do you care what others think? And I think, my personal opinion is, the majority of fans didn't turn up today because they're worried how they will look, that they will be called negative, they will be called toxic, they will be called all sorts of names. I've been there before, guys. 5 years ago, there was 20 of us protesting. I got called every name under the sun. Then we went up to Hotspur Way. I think I went there twice. Brian Daigle was there with Ryan and Graham every day. We got called every name under the sun. Then a couple of years ago, we grew to 200. And a lot more people started talking about the protesters. But we still got all sorts of abuse online. Then there's 2,000. Suddenly, they're not so abusive now. But people were worried that they were going to get the abuse and negativity thrown at them if they protested today. And that's what again, this is just my view, guys. In my view, you can't allow others to dictate how you are made to feel. Either you back something or you don't. The best saying, something Ryan Isaac said, back the team, not the regime. I want Ange out. I want Levy out. I still want to support them in the semi-final. I'll still support them in Bilbao. Doesn't mean I don't want change. You can do both. And I think what's happened here with this protest, it was a situation where it's one or the other. You can do both. And I think that's what should have happened. So I'm glad the protest went ahead today. And I think the majority of fans that didn't turn up is because they're scared of what others think. Maybe it's just a trait. I've never been like that with these protests. I've never been worried what others think. I will do it because I really believe in it. So I do understand why some might not be used to the labels of you're negative, you're toxic, you support Chelsea and all that shit.
Okay.
If you're not used to it, I get it. I'm used to it.
Let me ask you, Stel. If we want, let me ask you this, Stel. Put that to the test. I want to put what you're saying to the test. If we won the trophy,
why do I feel you're about to throw a curveball at me?
It's not. I'm just asking. This is a question.
This is the classic.
If we won the trophy, and people wanted to organise a protest for the open top bus parade, would that be acceptable?
I think there's a caveat here, and it's not me trying to wriggle out of it. I think there's a caveat. No, I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
On that day, you're going to have maybe 200,000-300,000 Spurs fans come to the area, and on that day, you're going to have people that haven't come out in a long time: grandparents, kids, people from overseas. I think on that specific day, that is a specific day of celebrating a victorious moment in the history of the club. So on that day, there's a strong argument to say, guys, not today, right? So on that occasion, I'd say no. But today isn't one of those occasions. Today isn't an event where we're celebrating some victorious thing. We haven't won anything, guys. We're drinking the champagne before we've lifted the cup. So I think you should still celebrate, should still protest, beg your pardon. But if there's a specific day dedicated to celebrating an actual trophy win, then no, I don't think they should protest on that one-off day. A bit like people who plan to protest in the streets of London on Remembrance Day. That's a specific event to commemorate the death of those who gave us freedom. Don't fucking protest today. Now, I think there's certain times when there is a case to say, do you know what? Yeah, today don't protest.
I'm not saying
that occasion. No.
I'm not saying it's right, but I think people might have had that logic of what you've just explained going into Spurs' first final in 6 years. So there's a time to protest, and then maybe there's a time not to. I know it's different because it's an actual trophy, but if you use the same kind of, thinking of what you've just said, maybe some fans, maybe that's where their head was at, and they thought, you know what, maybe not today, the next one is where I'll feel more emotionally charged, because let's face it, it's all about emotions. It's all about, that's what football's about, right? Being a fan, it's about being emotionally connected to something. And they might be emotionally connected to the protest, but they might be more emotionally connected to Spurs getting into that final and then being excited about that, because they've had a terrible season, it's been miserable, and maybe they want to live in that space. Not saying that it's right and not that you're wrong from what you're saying. I'm just trying to think of maybe why some of the fan base may have opted not to choose to leave their house to attend a protest, and maybe not even gone to the stadium at all, because some of the people that attend the protest, they're not necessarily season ticket holders, or the people that go to the games. A lot of the protesters that might go, they might watch it at home or watch it wherever, do you know what I mean? And so they thought, you know what, I'm not going to watch the game, but I'm not going to go to the protest either. So them not watching the game, some people like even wrote it off before the game's even kicked off. Like Sim was saying, he wrote the game off, and some fans might have been in that kind of mindset. I'm not gonna. I know a few fans that said I'm not even gonna watch the game because I'm just, my head's not even there. I'm just about the final. I know we're gonna lose today, so it might be that. I'm not saying that's the right mentality, but that could be another factor of what you've just explained as why some of those fans never turned up. But also, just to add to that as well, not everyone has the same mentality as maybe a Sim, yourself, or an I, where they have a strong personality where they're able to deal with that kind of like insults or, you know, people. Some people, you know, you say something nasty to them and you think that, all right, they go home and they kill themselves. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? They haven't got that, you know, voice in their head to kind of learn to kind of like, you know, cope or manage those negative comments. They'll take that to their grave. Like, they'll take that. And it's not even like, some comments aren't even that deep. You know what I'm saying? But some people will magnify that in their head because of the way they've been brought up or what they've experienced in life. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's just my thoughts on it. I'm going a bit left here, innit? You know what I mean? I'm going a bit deep. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You see, so your trap is more sophisticated than Sim's, basically, right? Your trap is more advanced.
I'm just going off the back of what you said, to be fair.
I'm playing you. No, Ash, I totally agree. There's going to be fans that feel that by going to a protest today, that they're putting a negative spotlight on the club, and that they are maybe killing the vibe. And you know, I did say there's some fans that won't be able to handle being called toxic and negative because they have a different opinion to fans. If you've got an opinion and a personality, you better strap in. If you've got an opinion and personality, good luck, because you're going to be open to all sorts. But at the same time, people with personalities, including myself, we give it as good as we get it. So you've got to be able to take it when it comes. And I think maybe some might struggle with that. But, you know, I think if you don't keep protesting, you lose momentum. And when you lose momentum, it's so hard to get it back. Because what happens is the protest then becomes more about results as opposed to the cause. So if suddenly Spurs win 2 or 3 in a row, right, don't protest now. We've got to wait until we lose 2 in a row. So you're constantly trying to pick when the club's on a downer to protest, and when the club gets a couple of good results, right, stop the protest. I don't think you can do that, because then really you don't truly believe in what you're claiming to stand for. You're just believing that, right, I'm angry because we've lost 3 games. I just want to shout and moan. Whereas if you really believe in it, the results should never drive your opinion. For me, I've always said the only time I would stop Levy out, Enoch out, is if we won a major trophy like a Premier League or a Champions League, because we've never done that in our history. And this ownership will have delivered something we've never done. Or they win back-to-back trophies over a 3-year period like we did in the 90s, in the 80s, because then that's what we were once used to. So if they can either replicate at least the past or do something I've never seen, I'll take my foot off the gas with the protest. But they've never done it. So I'll keep going and keep going until they do it or until they go, even if we don't get the numbers to back it. But no. This subject's going to split us, guys. This subject's going to split the fan base. This Levy out, Enoch out has split the fan base for the last 6 years. It's going to keep doing it. It's not going to change, I don't think.
All right, Stel, appreciate you coming on as always, mate. Appreciate the call. And look, it's all on Bilbao. All on Bilbao. Go on, what are you going to say?
Listen, all on Bilbao. I was going to say, just a reminder to all the Arsenal fans out there, North London, it's time to unite. You know, we can't have all these northern clubs winning all the trophies and all these clubs who are in the Big Six dominating football. For North London and the respect on our patch of London, it's important now that red, blue, white, we all come together and just back Tottenham in Bilbao. Just a message for all the Gooners out there. You got to North London forever. North London forever.